Hello everyone, how are you all? So today I, Rishabh, is going to teach you this topic pollution. We all know this topic is very common and very important with respect to our coming scenario. And not just coming scenario, but in current scenario also we need to focus on this and should actually take it seriously. You can see a scene over here in this slide which is in front of you, that it is a hilly area which is having a water body in between it, and this water body has accumulated a large lump, you can say, or you can say a large deposit of this environmental pollution over there. And this pollution is being created by man-made. Man-made means artificial source, because we are the one who are dumping these pollutants over there in the environment and causing serious hazards. Now, when we talk about these serious hazards and everything, we need to know about this topic thoroughly and how we can just reduce this pollution, or we can stop this action of ours so that our environment gets saved for a future generation. So, in this topic today, we are going to discuss various important issues. But before starting with that, let us know what will be the content for today. So, today we'll be discussing about pollution. I won't be telling about types today because our basic concept for today's session is going to be types of pollutant, not pollutions. All right. So I'll be just telling you about pollution and then moving forward to types of pollutant and then air quality index. Because Government of India has started various initiatives, and among that initiative is air quality index. So I'll be telling you about air quality index, and I assure you, if you just go through this lecture, you will definitely get one or two questions in your UPSC prelims examination. All right, guys, so let's focus on the topic today. So, starting with the session, you all can see a slide which is showing you a dense, foggy, you can say morning in some urban area. And this urban area we generally take into context with Delhi, Mumbai, and all, in which we always see poor air quality. So this poor quality is actually showing air pollution in that urban area or that city. So let's suppose the city is Delhi, and this Delhi is having a lot of pollution. So we need to know certain definitions, certain criteria and everything, so that our knowledge also becomes clear about this topic. So starting with that, what is pollution? Pollution is actually the occurrence of unwanted physical, chemical, or biotic changes which generally cause imbalance in our ecology or environment. And this imbalance is through air, land, water. And that is why we call it environmental pollution, because air, land, and water all constitute our environment. But to keep it more precise and relevant with your examination, then I must say you should be accustomed to general definitions given by various acts and various authorities. Now, I would like to just tell you about an act which we call EPA, or Environmental Protection Act. All right, sorry, Environment Protection Act 1986. In Environment Protection Act, it has been clearly said that pollution is actually, or environmental pollution is actually the presence of pollutants. They have said presence of pollutants. So you need to know the definitions of respected acts. So presence of pollutants in the environment. Very simple definition given by Environment Protection Act 1986, which says that presence of pollutants in the environment is called environmental pollution. And these pollutants actually come from various sources which can be natural as well as artificial. Artificial we call man-made sources. This was the general criteria when we started studying pollution and pollutants. Apart from that, we also came through that there are multiple sources of these pollutants which actually create these kind of pollution. Now, moving to those sources, or you can say types of pollutant, we must know how they come into our environment. So classification of pollutants are basically on the four criteria. These four criteria are: number one, source of pollution; number two, mode of release; number three, presence in nature; and number four, degree of degradability. Now, if I say source of pollution, this is the very important factor in today's study of pollutants. because this source actually classifies them as primary or secondary. Now, when I say primary or secondary, there's a confusion which comes into the mind of students of what is primary pollutant and what is secondary. So we will come to that. All right. Next is the mode of release. How they come into the environment. Means that mode of release can be your indoor activities and there can also be your outdoor activities. So this also will come to know by the end of this lecture. Then about the presence in this nature. This presence is about the quality and the quantity. Quality and quantity. Like for example, if I say carbon dioxide is an important component of our atmosphere and it is needed by plants in the process of photosynthesis to actually make food. That food is actually glucose which gets stored in the plant. Now, this carbon dioxide, which is actually required by the plant to produce glucose by the process of photosynthesis, also becomes a pollutant when the quantity increases. Means everything in this environment need to be balanced. Anything which goes high or anything which goes low results in a pollution. All right. Next is degradability. When we say degradability, it's simply biodegradable or non-biodegradable. So moving forward with this, let us start with the very first, you can say type that is source of pollution, that is primary pollutant and secondary pollutant. So what are primary pollutant? We all know that pollutants when we talk about are harmful substances. So when we say harmful, then how this harmful can be primary or secondary? See, a primary pollutant is that harmful substance that directly enters. Mark this word, this is important. That is discharged directly or directly enters into our atmosphere. And this directly entrance into the atmosphere can be from the natural source as well as from the artificial source, both sources. Natural sources are like whenever there's forest fire, ash, dust particles, or you can say fly ash and everything in case of forest fire. We are also one of those who are spreading these kind of pollutants. So when we burn coal, sorry, when we burn coal, when we burn oil, they also cause pollution because they emit carbon dioxide, they emit carbon monoxide. All right, so these are harmful gases which get entered into our environment by our actions as well. Then we also burn various fuel which also create sulfur dioxide. So these are the pollutants which directly enter into the environment due to our activities or due to some environmental activity. Apart from that, there are certain other pollutions as well, which are called secondary pollutants. Now, how are these secondary pollutants produced? These secondary pollutants are the result of activities of these primary pollutants. Means what kind of activities of these primary pollutants? When these primary pollutants go into the environment, they react with other primary pollutant or other, I'm writing PP for primary pollutant, or they react with other pollutants, not just primary but other pollutants which are present over there, or might be possible with other substances over there, and then they form some other chemical, you can say composition which creates pollution. So that kind of pollution is called secondary pollution. Like for example, sulfur dioxide was a primary pollutant. It enters into the atmosphere and reacts with oxygen present over there and forms sulfur trioxide. Now this sulfur trioxide is secondary pollutant. All right, when this sulfur trioxide reacts with water vapor present in the atmosphere, it forms hydrochloric acid. That is another form of secondary pollutant, which results in acid rain. So, sulfur trioxide, sulfuric acid, these are secondary pollutants. Even your ozone in the stratosphere is beneficial for us because it stops ultraviolet rays from entering into our environment. But This ozone, when it is present in the lower troposphere, in lower troposphere, it is a pollutant, all right, which causes global warming. So these are secondary pollutants being produced by reaction of primary pollutants or primary pollutant with other substances or primary pollutant with other pollutants being present in that particular atmosphere. All right. Moving forward, you can see some examples over here because these examples are important for you. So do remember some from here. All right. So you can see the examples over here: carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, ammonia, particulate matter. This particulate matter can be 2.5, this particulate matter can be 10, PM 10, PM 2.5. Then VOC, those are volatile organic compounds. Apart from that, peroxyacetyl nitrate, we also call it PAN. All right. Pan is not just in economics, pan is also there in environment. So it is peroxyacetyl nitrate. So these all are primary pollutants. Then we go to secondary pollutant. We see sulfur trioxide over there, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, hydrogen peroxide. Then we see ammonium. Then we see ozone. Then we see particulate matter. So these are secondary pollutant. Now you would say, so what? See, particulate matter 2.5 is primary. When it goes to 10 level, it is secondary. All right. So these are your primary and secondary pollutants. Now, moving forward, we see another category that is based on mode of release, that is indoor pollutants and outdoor pollutants. When we say indoor pollutants, they are defined as dust, filth, gases, or the air which is inside structures like your houses, workplace, that are potentially unhealthy to breathe. All right. Now, molds, pollen grain, pollen dust, tobacco smoke. Every time we say that, never sit beside a person who is smoking because you become the pillion smoker, or you can say you become the passive smoker. When you become the passive smoker, you are not just inhaling the smoke, you are inhaling the CO level also being given out by that person. Then household products, pesticides, gases, radon, carbon monoxide, all these are indoor pollutants. Many people suffer from lung disorders like asthma, COPD, lung cancer, and that is due to the poor indoor air quality. Uh, just now, one of my friend was actually having a relative who was suffering from COPD. Now, what is COPD? COPD is chronic, C for chronic, O is for obstructive, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So remember this full form as well: COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. All right. So these, you can say, diseases occur in person who actually have indoor pollutants in their house. So many such sources of indoor pollutants have been clarified by environmentalists. They say that your bathroom is a source of mold, mildew, odor, and microbial pathogens. Your air conditioning units are also unable to remove pathogens. VOC, now what of the VOCs, volatile organic compound, I already told you. Odors, and these keep on circulating without ventilating rooms. All right, then living rooms. Now people have rooms without ventilation, closed rooms, and these closed rooms are actually creating environmental problem as well as health hazard for people living in that closed rooms without any ventilations. So everybody should actually make rooms with proper ventilation. Air conditioning units won't help you with that. They are just to give you cool air, just remember that. They cannot purify your air to that extent. Now some people are also saying that's how we have developed air purifying devices. Then someday you will come to know that your air purifying device is not able to purify this particular part of the air. So every time you cannot depend upon the gadget. The best part is to have proper environment and to have proper environment interaction as well. All right. Then you have living room which are full of animal hair dust. People keep their pets in their living room. They are just loitering over their bed and their sofas and everywhere that where you and your family sits. So what happens? Animal hair dust and danders are actually present in your environment, which are creating serious health hazards. Then tobacco smoke, diesel particles, VOCs from paint, varnishes, upholstery, furniture, and carpet are also there creating pollution around you. Then, if I talk about outdoor air, it has particulate matter, pathogens, VOCs, odors, and emissions. Bedrooms have VOCs from perfumes, hairspray. Some people use high VOC level perfumes. All right, so you should avoid using it. Hairspray, nail polish, upholstery, furniture and carpet, dust mites, and bed sheets. Then laundry rooms also have VOCs from cleaning product. Then mold, mildew odors, and microbial pathogens. Kitchen has cooking devices and fuel oil. So you have pollution everywhere around you. So you can't say that my house is pollution free. No, you yourself are bringing such things in your home which are creating pollution, and that is a source of indoor pollutant, and it is literally causing you serious health hazards. All right. Then moving forward, we have outdoor pollutants, and in those outdoor pollutants, we come to know about release from factories, industries, vehicular pollution, which directly enter into the environment. Now, these emissions from motor vehicles like solid fuel burning and industries are pouring some other chemicals are making our environment filled with lot of pollution. You must have heard about an incident in Minamata Bay. Minamata Bay is actually a bay around Japan. And what happened in this bay? It was a large fishing ground or fishing region as well. So, due to fishing activities, fishermen used to fish, means used to do their fishing activity over here and just sell those fishes. But a chemical factory was opened near Minamata Bay, which used to dump its effluent. Effluent is chemical untreated, which is being disposed in the water. This effluent was having a large quantity of mercury in it, and this mercury actually got into the bay over there and was present in the aquatic creatures like fish and every other creature over there. So when people ate this fish and all, that mercury entered into the human body, and when it entered human body, it started creating serious health hazard. So that incident was called Minamata incident. All right. And Minamata Bay became famous after that incident of mercury poisoning. So these particular cases we generally see in our environment just because that we are not looking into the serious circumstances of these activities which we do. So we should be aware of it. We should take precautions. We should take actions against those who are not following the instructions. So this need to be done in order to stop these outdoor pollutants as well. Indian authorities, or you must say that Indian government has come up with various programs to actually monitor such pollutants or such pollution which is there in the outdoor sources. Like we have started NAMP, that is National Air Quality Monitoring Program. We have started monitoring the air quality by AQI, Air Quality Index. So we are doing our efforts, means as a government I'm saying, not as a person, because as a person we need to improve ourselves. We need to become aware of all this and we need to curb this and stop this. All right. Then we see that people honking near the hospitals, people honking near the education centers, which need to stop because people are having serious heart attacks as well. So air quality, noise pollution, these all impact to our health. So people should become aware about all this. All right. So you can see this outdoor pollution sources. We have long range transport of aerosol and gases that actually accumulate in the troposphere and cause serious health hazard. All right. Then we see methane rising, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, VOC, sulfate, black carbon, dust, N2O, CFCs, ozone. These called greenhouse effect or global warming. So all this is due to outdoor pollution. So you need to stop outdoor pollution, outdoor pollutants as well as indoor pollutants. Got it? Then we have pollution based on the presence in nature. When we talk about the presence in nature, we have quantitative pollutants and we have qualitative pollutants. Quantitative pollutant, as I already told you about the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is generally a needed substance for an environment, like plant need it for the process of photosynthesis. But when this particular product becomes in excess, it becomes a pollutant. Because due to this, we see rising temperature of Earth. We see global warming. All right. Then we have qualitative pollutants. These are which pollutants which do not occur naturally in the nature. All right. They are not naturally produced, but we have added them. Humans have added them. Example, insecticides. So these are qualitative pollutants. We know about DDT. After that, if we come to know, we see biodegradable and degradable non-biodegradable pollutants. That is on the nature of disposal. The pollutants of this group are decomposed by various microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, and the decomposed substance then enter the biogeochemical cycle. Now, these decomposed substances become a part of pollutions whenever they are excessively produced and are not being absorbed by our environment. So we need to stop and monitor as well these biodegradable pollutants. All right. So you can see these pollutants coming out from your home as well. So various kitchen, domestic residues, feces, stool, urine, agricultural residue in the form of byproducts, paper, wood, clothes. These all are example of biodegradable pollutants. Now, when we come to non-biodegradable pollutants, these do not decompose or reduce into simpler products and are present in their toxic form in the food chain, or you can say they seriously pose haz- uh, health hazards to everyone around whom these particular pollutants are present. So these substances are like DDT, pesticide, insecticide, mercury, lead, mercury poisoning. I generally told you about Minamata incident, lead, arsenic, aluminium, plastic, radioactive substances. All right, so these are non-biodegradable pollutants. So you can see around the water bodies, we generally see a large lump of these non-biodegradable pollutants. All right, now coming to the government initiatives, we have known about NAM, National Air Quality Monitoring Program. In that NAM, air quality index is a very important component. This air quality index was launched by the central government in 2014 as a part of Swachh Bharat campaign. Remember this. IIT Kanpur, an expert group, recommended the AQI scheme. Now, what is AQI? AQI is actually a number. Air quality index is actually a number which measures the quality of air. All right. Higher the AQI, worse the air. Remember this. And this AQI monitors 8 primary air contaminants. These primary air contaminants are particulate matter 10, particulate matter 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide. All right, not carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, ammonia, and lead. And these eight should be learned by heart, means you have to mug it up. All right. Now, when we measure their quantity into the environment, we actually see 6 categories of AQI. All right, which can be good, satisfactory, moderately polluted, poor, very poor, severe. So from good it is 0 to 50. If the marks shows 0 to 50, then it is showing a good quality of air. If the mark says 50 to 100, then it is satisfactory. If it is saying 100 to 200, that is moderately polluted. If it is above 200 and less than 300, it is poor. Above 300, it is very poor. And 400 to 500, it is severe, means you cannot breathe in that particular air. So the color coded AQI index was launched in India in 2014 and it helped public and government to understand the condition of air. So we generally see the air quality index of Delhi around 300, literally around 300. It is rarely seen that the air quality index came down to 200 or something. Rarely seen in Delhi. All right. So the situation in Delhi is just like this. You have to wear these masks and then move around. I'm literally telling you. Now, certain questions from today's session. Let's see how many of you can answer this. Which of the following is one of the secondary pollutants? Remember, I told you about primary pollutant and secondary pollutant. So, ozone, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and peroxyacetyl nitrates. So, the answer over here is ozone. I think everybody must have noticed it in the lecture. Then, Venemata disease is related to what? Which type of poisoning? Lead, mercury, magnesium, methyl chloride. So everybody must be knowing mercury. I've already told you about it. What is true about AQI? It informs about the color and odor in the air. It can inform about the ozone level in any area along with particulate matter. So what does AQI tell you? Color, odor, or ozone level and particulate matter? So we all know it tells about the ozone level and particulate matter. Alright. Then which of the following is an example of greenhouse gas? Methane, carbon dioxide, oxygen, both A and B. So we all know methane and carbon dioxide are greenhouse gas. So A and B, that is option D. So I think everything is clear from the lecture today, and we have completed pollution, we have completed types of pollutant, we have completed air quality index. So this was all from the session today. Thank you. Thanks a lot. God bless you guys. And if you have any doubt, do let me know. Thank you and God bless you.